Yo, what's up? So I've been wanting to stay out of this whole Diablo mobile game disaster. Mainly because, alright, this is my whole thing. I don't care. I just don't fucking care. I don't care that they're making a mobile game. I don't see it as a cash grab no more than any other game as a cash grab. I never asked for the mobile game, just like fans never asked for it. But I also never asked for a Diablo 4. I thought Diablo 3 was alright. It was an alright game. But I barely fucking played it. Like I've played all the way through it in like runs where people would just rush me through it, where friends would be like, "Oh, I got this super high level character. I'll just run you through it so you can get all the stuff, all the loot, find rare stuff, blah blah blah." But I didn't play it. I didn't play it like Diablo 2 where I played it, learned the game, learned the story, learned the characters, all that stuff. I mean, Diablo 3 is just, it wasn't that good. I mean, and really at the time, I just thought I was out of point and click adventure type games until Marvel Heroes came out, and I loved that game. So then I realized I'm not a Diablo 3 fan like I was a Diablo 2 fan. So yeah, I never asked for a Diablo 4. But on one hand, I can totally understand where fans are pissed off about this whole thing. And the only reason why I'm making this now is because I saw this video with Pat, the NES punk, who I have watched some of his videos. I think he's alright. His buddy Ian, the NPC, I never liked him. He's always been like, "Oh, I'm a male feminist." Fucking bullshit. And here they are, they're doing what games journalists are doing right now, which is calling gamers like entitled babies or whatever. And it really fucking, it pisses me off that this is the stance that they're taking. There was a time that Pat took a stance against Rooster Teeth, who Rooster Teeth found fault with Giant Bomb's 3 out of 5 star rating for Fallout 4. Meanwhile, while they're sitting there with a special edition Pip-Boy plastic piece of shit on their arms and stuff, which no doubt they got for free from fucking Bethesda. And it was good to see Pat take them on like that, to point out they're biased. But now here he is calling gamers elitist for criticizing Blizzard and whatnot. And some of the shit that they talk about in this video is really bullshit, because at the time there was no Diablo 4 mention at all. Like, this was Blizzard's big reveal during BlizzCon, was this mobile game. Now I've heard that apparently Blizzard has talked about Diablo 4 since the whole BlizzCon debacle happened. I don't know if that's true or not. I haven't seen anything about that, but that's something that should be brought up with how they talk about this, like this whole situation that happened. They talk about it as if Blizzard said during this press conference or whatever that Diablo 4 was coming. But I've rambled on way more than I wanted to, so let's get into watching this video.
So BlizzCon was what, this past weekend?
Yes, the weekend of the 3rd and 4th.
And their big announcement to close out their opening ceremony was not a Diablo 4, but a Diablo mobile game called Diablo Infinite.
Okay.
Or Diablo Immortal. And immediately everyone started violently shitting their pants in protest. Just losing it. People are unhappy. And there's a lot to unpack with it on both sides, I think. Immediately people divided themselves into camps over, we're going to cry like babies. And the other camp quickly polarized into a very much, we feel the need to, we must defend this game.
All right, you notice already right here the way he's talking about these two camps. I used air quotes there, by the way. Like, I think maybe he's trying to, at least here at the start, he's trying to sound unbiased, maybe. Like, he's, oh, both sides have something here. But you can already tell, because he's like, whoa, one side is crying like bitches, and the other one is just going to defend Blizzard. Bullshit.
So, Diablo 3 came out in 2012. Diablo is hugely popular. Diablo 3 has been reiterated a few times. I had a PC version, got released on the 360 and the PS3. Got a PS4 port and a Xbox One port. It has an expansion pack, and then it also received one final expansion pack that added a new playable character class, which was Necromancer, I believe. And then it got released on the Switch just 4 or 5 days ago.
All right, I just want to point out here why I think it's a ridiculous notion that Blizzard is putting out this mobile version of Diablo just as a cash grab. Like, Blizzard has basically done with Diablo what Capcom has done with every title ever since Resident Evil 4. They released it, and then years later, they released it again on PS3 and 360, and then after that, they released it again on PS4 and Xbox One, I think Xbox One, I don't know. And now the Switch. I mean, they're just reselling the same game over and over and over again. Like, so even if this mobile game was just not even a reskin, if it was just Diablo 3, like, what's the difference between putting it on mobile and putting it on every console not nailed down? So, I mean, calling it a cash grab is just retarded.
Diablo fans, I think, feel like they are neglected when it comes to properties that Blizzard focuses on. Blizzard does focus a lot on World of Warcraft. Sure. They focus a lot on Overwatch. I think Blizzard fans get a little touchy because of the enormous weight that was between Diablo 2 and Diablo 3. I mean, cry about it, I guess, guys. People wait for stuff long all the time.
Cry about it, I guess. People wait for things all the time. Yeah, no shit. Like, just because fans are excited to want a new game in the series that they love, that doesn't make them fucking babies. They're not crying about this. They're upset because the big reveal was a mobile game. And I don't think it has anything to do with how much time Blizzard spends on other games compared to Diablo. Diablo has seasons, they have new stuff all the time. They're paying attention to Diablo. I don't think there's any kind of table out there that you can look at that shows what game Blizzard spends more time with. I don't think I've ever heard a Diablo fan saying, hey, Blizzard, spend more time on Diablo than you do World of Warcraft.
I think it was a combination of things. I think they were initially upset because it's how they chose to end the opening ceremony of BlizzCon, where you usually get a fairly big announcement, and it's usually an announcement that's kind of aimed at more of a, I hate to use the term, but I guess hardcore gamer.
Sure.
Especially because, like, the people who come out to this sort of thing and buy the tickets are generally, I mean, they're the ones who are really deep into it.
Big mistake. Huge. It's not hardcore gamers. It's hardcore Blizzard fans. It's hardcore Diablo fans. Hardcore World of Warcraft fans. It's BlizzCon. This isn't E3. This isn't Tokyo Game Show. This isn't Video Game Con. I don't think there's a Video Game Con. It's not just hardcore gamers. I'm a hardcore gamer. I love video games. I have my entire life. Like, those are the people that go to BlizzCon. And let's not forget, they had to pay to go to this. They had to pay for their flights, their travel. They had to pay for hotels and shit. All right? So, I mean, like, yeah, they're not just hardcore gamers. They are hardcore Blizzard fans. And yeah, when you go to something like BlizzCon, you spend all that money to go to BlizzCon. I think it's like $200. And their big reveal at the very end is just a mobile game? I mean, Bethesda didn't even do that with their little Fallout Shelter. Could you imagine, instead of showing Fallout 4, if their big reveal at the end was just the Fallout Shelter game? I bet fans would have been mad that was their big reveal at the very end. In fact, if I remember right, Bethesda tried playing some little game like that where they're like, all right, see ya. Oh, you want more stuff? How about Fallout 4? Boom, 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 boom. Like, if they would have been like, hey, we got a mobile game coming out for Diablo, and then afterwards be like, oh, but that's not what you want to know. How about this here? And just bam, pulled their fucking giant dicks out, swinging around like a helicopter, and been like, Diablo 4, bitches. I bet the people that didn't care for the mobile game, which seems like all the fans, probably would have not given a shit, wouldn't have booed, or anything like that, because they would have been too busy fucking ripping their faces off and smashing it in their fucking hands out of excitement for Diablo 4.
That's about as much defense as I can give the people who are upset about it. Because at the end of the day, you don't have to play it. You can just ignore it. Yeah. And
there might be people that maybe discover this on the mobile device and know nothing about Diablo or get into it. And there is a large mobile market.
Yes.
And it doesn't necessarily have to... It's not taking anything away from your experience if other people are experiencing a mobile version of Diablo. And it is probably the type of game you could put somewhat on a mobile app, and you weren't going to lose a huge amount from
Right.
it.
So, good or bad, this game does not need to affect you.
No.
It doesn't need to affect you at all. This game existing does not make any of the Diablo games that you've already enjoyed bad.
No.
And it's not like this is being done instead of a Diablo 4.
All right, there's 3 points that I want to touch on that they were just talking about. Number one, I agree with the whole, like, if you don't like it, don't buy it, vote with your wallet mentality. That's how everything is. If they're putting out a mobile game for Diablo and you didn't ask for one, don't buy it. I'm not going to buy it. I didn't ask for it. I've been that way for the longest time. I remember way back when Activision was putting out map packs for Call of Duty for $15 instead of $10. And I was like, if you don't like it, vote with your wallet, and they won't do it anymore. But everyone bought the map packs anyway. Number two, I love this idea of them being like, good or bad, this won't affect you whatsoever. No matter what, it won't affect you. This isn't going to affect you if you don't play it. Like, tell that to all the leftists, NPCs, feminists out there. The ones that are constantly writing articles for Kotaku and Polygon and all those other bullshit websites that constantly bitch and complain about games being toxic and fucking racist or sexist or whatever, blah, 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 blah. If you don't like it, don't play it, and this doesn't affect you whatsoever. Doesn't change the old ones, go back and play those. And then lastly, he brings up Diablo 4. Now, they did not talk about Diablo 4 at BlizzCon. So, talking about it at all in comparison to how fans were at BlizzCon with this reveal is complete bullshit. Like, if it is true that after this whole debacle happened, Blizzard did announce Diablo 4, then fine, whatever, but that has nothing to do. Well, it probably does have something to do with everyone booing them and finding fault with them, but at the time, what was going on, you can't be like, I don't understand why they were all booing about this mobile phone. I mean, like, they don't have to play it. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't change the old games. And plus, they have Diablo 4 to look forward to. Like, you can't say that because they didn't talk about Diablo 4 at BlizzCon.
I read something, that it's an obvious thing to think, but I read a snippet of it. I think it was, can't remember the journalist's name, Austin Walker maybe, but he said something similar. He's like, the thing that these people don't realize is that with a franchise like Diablo, and it goes into the cartoons and things like that, things that are this entrenched, that are getting all of these offshoots, or things that get remakes, this can be applied to so many things, is they have no desire to stop making things for these series. These are popular. So they're going to keep making things for this series. So just wait. It's coming. It's coming.
Fucking Austin Walker. What a fucking joke. I'm pretty sure Diablo fans know that Diablo is a big enough franchise that sooner or later they'll get a Diablo 4. I don't think that's the problem. I think the problem is that they ended the big thing at Blizzard's big convention with this mobile game and not Diablo 4. They should have done, like I said before, with like Bethesda, they should have done either one of these two ways of doing it. They should have either been like, hey, here's this mobile game, and then, oh, boom, here's Diablo 4, or announce Diablo 4 now, and then later announce the mobile game. Maybe reveal Diablo 4 now, even if it's like a year or two away, reveal it now, and then later when it's closer to the release of Diablo 4, maybe next year's BlizzCon, also bring up the mobile phone game. Yes, there are people out there that are like, oh, this is just a cash grab, which I think is absolutely bullshit. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll have a bunch of microtransactions in there, and then you can call it a cash grab, even though, again, you don't have to buy that stuff. So I think that's ridiculous. But even with people like that out there, I think the main fan base is more upset that they ended the big night with this mobile game that nobody asked for instead of Diablo 4. I think if they would have been like, here's a mobile game and here's a teaser for Diablo 4, people would have been less angry.
They also should know that this helps the brand overall when they're branching out to other avenues.
A broader appeal means more
Diablo
stuff.
is not known outside of gamers as really a thing right now. So maybe it gets to the potential where they branch out, and now, okay, maybe you get a Diablo you know, I'm just spitballing. Maybe in 5 years now, you get a Diablo Netflix series, or you get these opportunities. You can't do that when one game comes out every 6-7 years. And obviously, this is the type of game where you can come out every other year. There's got to be a huge space in between.
There's so much shit in these games that you have to give players time to find it.
Amazing. Every word of what you just said was wrong.
I can't even. I'm literally facepalming. Like, everything that they're talking about right now is completely fucking ridiculous. Diablo fans don't want more stuff. They just want a fucking Diablo 4. They want a sequel to Diablo 3. And they probably would prefer it to be more like Diablo 2 than Diablo 3. And what the fuck are you talking about? Oh, we're just spitballing here, but maybe they'll have a Netflix series. What, like Witcher? Something that no one fucking asked for, and we got fucking Superman Legolas? The fuck are you talking about? And this whole thing of like, you can't have that stuff when a game only comes out every like 6 years. What? How often does Witcher games come out? They're coming out with a Witcher series. When did Witcher 3 come out? At least 2 years ago? Not to mention, what do you mean they can't fucking make a Diablo games that fucking close to each other? Why can't they? What the fuck is Ian talking about? Like, there's so much stuff in it that the players have to find. Diablo 3 held your hand on every little fucking thing. I mean, at least with Diablo 2, yeah, you had to search the entire fucking map to find whatever it was that you're looking for, but it never took that fucking long. The maps are not that fucking big. And why can't they make a Diablo game every 2 years if they wanted to? It's the same fucking controls, point and click. What, because they have to come up with a story? Other games come up with fucking awesome stories within 2 years. Look at the Uncharted series. Like, the stories are really fucking good, and they came out every 2 years, I think. Thereabouts. I mean, games can have really good stories, really good gameplay and stuff like that, really good characters, and come out every couple of years. You can't fucking tell me that Diablo needs 6 years to be made. That's fucking garbage horseshit. Like, everything you guys were just fucking saying was stupid.
There's no need for this, like a fucking petition. This hurt their stock. Their stock went down 7% of the Activision Blizzard stock due to the backlash online. That's insane. The petition on change.org, yeah, I'm sure those work out.
I thought this was kind of funny. He brings up this petition, and he talks about how the Blizzard stock has gone down 7%. And then when he names this change.org petition, he's like, oh yeah, like that really works. Motherfucker, you just got done saying that their fucking stock dropped 7%. So yeah, it does work.
To cancel the launch, there was a hashtag, not my Diablo. Hashtags don't mean anything, but it's funny. Over 31,000 supporters. And here's the comments. I'm not against having a mobile game too, but not instead of a PC game.
No,
we've been waiting for far too long for another Diablo 3 expansion, or better yet, Diablo 4. Another called it an absolute slap in the face of all the fans who stuck with Blizzard through the mess that was Diablo 3, hoping that they finally get a good Diablo game.
Diablo 3, like, and that's the other thing, people keep fucking harping on that. It's like, yeah, Diablo 3 had a shit launch, but it's had 5 great years, sure, and like at, you know, a 6-month shit show launch. It's like, and that's not good, but fucking get over yourselves.
Oh, Ian, yes, the launch of Diablo 3 with the always online DRM catastrophe was a fucking brutal nightmare that lasted way longer than it should have, because it should have never happened in the first place. But I guess you forgot about the auction houses that fucking nobody liked. It was a fucking shit show. And it lasted for 2 fucking years before Blizzard got their head out of their ass and got rid of it. Not to mention, like I said, I personally didn't like Diablo 3 at all near as much as Diablo 2. And I think a lot of fans felt that way. Diablo 3 was not at all as good as Diablo 2. And I think when people talk about the bad times of Diablo 3, I think that's what they're talking about. I don't think they're just talking about the fucking launch. And I'm sure they're not just talking about the auction house fucking debacle. I think they're just talking about in general that Diablo 3 is a subpar game to Diablo 2. And I love that you're telling people to get over it. Maybe I should start watching this show all the time to see when Ian bitches about a video game at all of any kind. So I can be like, oh man, you don't have to play it. It doesn't affect the other games that you play. You just get over it. Get over yourself, man. God, that's so fucking ignorant.
An analyst said Diablo was supposed to be Blizzard's first shot on goal into the big global mobile game market. Games like these attract large, harder core mobile audiences in Asia, and the Diablo franchise is popular in the U.S., China, Europe, and Korea. So it makes sense. And this could even maybe you would get like a big World of Warcraft mobile app eventually if this did well. I mean, why not? They could tap into that market. So,
and that is the other thing, like that points out, and you brought up, the United States is not the only market.
Sure.
And the entirety of Asia does, like over there, like that,
Go for it.
the Gesundheit.
Oh my god, I never sneezed in the podcast before.
Yeah, the mobile market is so much bigger elsewhere.
Sure.
I mean, it's not like they're, these people flipping out. It's not, the revenue's still going to come in for Diablo.
They don't really make much sense to me right now with what they're saying. Like, they're talking about how mobile games are popular in Asian countries, and Diablo is also popular in Asian countries. Okay, what is your point, though? Like, are you assuming that because mobile games are apparently more popular in Asian countries than they are in the United States, that Asians are going to be more happy with this news? I don't know what they're playing at here. It just like, okay, what does that have to do with fans not being happy about it? And I wonder how many of these Asian fans are not happy about it. This whole thing just seems like they're like, well, this is a defense. Like, this is why you should be okay with it, because in other countries they like mobile games more.
I don't have to be pro this game to tell these people to shut the fuck up.
At the end of the day, this is all just people having an opinion. Whether they're for this mobile game, against this mobile game, or like me, and just don't give a fuck either way if there's a mobile game. It's just opinions. And so for you to sit there and be like, I don't need to like a game or dislike a game to tell these people to shut up. Like, how about you don't tell people to shut up? How about you don't tell people to stop crying? How about you not tell people that they're being entitled because of their opinion, and their opinion doesn't match up to yours? Just let them have their fucking opinion. That's how it should be. That's how all of this should be. If people want to have their arguments and debate back and forth for why this is good and why this is bad and whatever, fine, let them do it.
And I'll just say this: I saw, it's now gone like viral, when the person in the audience said, "Is this a late April's Fool's joke?"
Oh, sit your fucking ass down.
And people are applauding in the audience. You're all fucking babies.
Yeah.
All of you who applauded. You're all babies. You're rude, first of all.
Yeah.
But you're all fucking babies.
Yeah. Way to put someone on the spot who, like, probably. I mean, it's not like they made the final fucking call.
No. And they're not the ones who made the call for not announcing anything else. And you're putting it on them, making them feel fucking stupid for your little fucking little 5 minutes of internet fame in your fucking video. It's disgusting, and they're the reason you're there, because they gave you these franchises for you to go to fucking BlizzCon.
Yeah,
and now you're fucking fuck you. Yeah, you're not doing exactly what we want when we want. It's like, grow up.
It's so
gross.
Just
Just fucking grow up.
So gross.
You don't deserve as much as you think you do. I mean, that's most people in general.
You deserve less than you think you do.
You deserve. Thank you. You deserve. You got 3 good Diablo games, right, overall, over the past 20 years, right? Yeah. Something like that. Be happy for that.
Wow, they kind of started showing their true colors there at the end. They got really fucking shitty and butthurt about this. Talk about disgusting. Now, I will say this. The guy that made the April Fool's comment, I kind of think he was a little immature to do that. I mean, they are right that these people on the stage, they're just on the stage doing their job. They're not the ones that decided to make this game or anything. At least I don't think they are. I assume they're not. But their job is just to be on stage and give the information, and to say something like that. Like, if it would have been something someone said on Twitter, I wouldn't have cared, and probably would have maybe found it funny. But to say it, like, to the people on stage, yeah, this something about it fucking rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. But these two, Pat and Ian, sitting there calling people babies for cheering that or whatever, like, fuck off. Like, who the fuck are you? Like, and then you're like, you don't deserve this. You don't deserve what you get. You deserve less. And then be like, you should be happy. They're the reason why you're there. If they didn't give you these franchises, you wouldn't be there. Like, fuck you. If it wasn't for the fucking customers, Blizzard wouldn't be here. Blizzard wouldn't be making fucking video games. Blizzard wouldn't have BlizzCon. They would have been fucking making $200 a pop or whatever it is for a fucking ticket for BlizzCon. They wouldn't have people subbing to World of Warcraft. Like, go fuck yourself with that kind of fucking attitude, or like as if a customer should be fucking just throwing themselves onto the ground and praising Blizzard for making Diablo games and shit. And you know what? Maybe you guys are joking a little bit there. Maybe a little trolling there. I don't know. It's still a really fucked up thing to say. To fucking be like, if it wasn't for them, that you wouldn't be paying them money for their stuff. Alright guys, this video has been much longer than I was expecting it to be. Tell me your opinions on this video, on this whole like Diablo thing. Like, which side do you fall on, I guess? Like, are you looking forward to the mobile game? Did you want a Diablo 4? Were you like me and just don't care at all? Just tell me what you think. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, tell me why you don't like it. Take it easy, everybody.